Once, in a small village, a young man named Henry set out to find a source of water. After a series of twists and turns, he eventually found his way. Once the village discovered Henry's trail, they too followed his track to the water. The trail increasingly more visible as more and more people followed the tracks, until eventually it was known as the path to the water. One day, a girl named Lily followed the path, as she always did, but this time she stopped by a sleeping tiger who lay in the middle of a trail. Instead of turning back, she decided to find a different path, and ended up finding a stream that was much closer to the village. Upon this new discovery, many decided to take Lily's alternative path. For many years, there were two paths, Henry and Lily's path, until eventually another person found a new path to water. As time passed, the village learned that there was more than one path to get to where they needed, and they began carving their own paths to suit their needs better. The lessons in this story can be applied to the process of making good therapeutic recreation practitioners. There are several paths of education that can lead to becoming a good TR practitioner, and there are several different destinations or interpretations of what it means to be a good TR professional. Grace Hopper once said, "The most dangerous phrase in the English language is, 'We've always done it this way.'" The aim of this discussion is not to declare the path to becoming a good TR practitioner, but to explore the implications of the paths we take and do not take. In order to begin the process of unpacking TR academia through a critical lens, we will refer to several post-structuralist ideas from Foucault's toolbox. Let's get started.
There's an arsenal of ideas and concepts in TR proposed by Michel Foucault. This arsenal is referred to as Foucault's toolbox, which I happen to have right here with me. The first tool we'd like to discuss is the concept of normalization. Normalization occurs when a concept or action is reproduced enough times that is considered normal, or is accepted without question. Like this piece of Play-Doh, the cultural idea of what is considered to be normality can be shaped and reshaped through repetition. Another useful Foucauldian way of understanding is through the power-knowledge paradigm. To break it down, let's begin by defining power. Power is all around us. It is not something that can be possessed, but rather something that encircles all of us, whereas knowledge can be understood as a social construct that is produced by power. Foucault would argue that these two ideas work in conjunction, where power constantly creates knowledge, and knowledge constantly induces power.
Now we will use the tools from Foucault's toolbox to critically explore our current TR education. The first question we aim to answer is, what is being normalized in our education? The current course requirements for a TR degree at the University of Waterloo is heavily informed by the knowledge that is produced by organizations such as TRO and CTRA. So here's how it works. Our education is aligned with and based from the standards and basic competencies that are generated from organizations such as TRO. According to Peters and Besley, Foucault states that the power of normalization is overtaking the educational purpose. In terms of TR, this means that professional organizations are regulating and controlling the criteria for how we perceive TR, what defines a good TR professional, and what educational concepts we will learn throughout our degree. The influence of these professional TR organizations is further amplified by the fact that many professors who are responsible for selecting and teaching course content are active members of these organizations. As a result of their membership, professors run the risk of privileging and reproducing the knowledge created by these organizations they are a part of in classrooms of future TR partners in care. Continuing with normalization, it is clear that our education is based on a westernized standpoint, focusing on normalized behaviors, values, and beliefs. These standardized norms are implemented into the courses offered at the University of Waterloo, as seen in course descriptions and learning objectives. For example, a person-centered approach to TR often includes working towards autonomy and independence. While these ideals are celebrated in Western cultures, which often focus on the individual, they do not necessarily translate into the way those who come from a more collectivist cultures see the world. In teaching students to value a Western individualistic approach to care, TR education works to silence other cultural ways of knowing approaches to TR. So why does this matter to you? When a certain way of doing TR is normalized through education and the other organizations it is shaped by, the scope of TR becomes limited to what those institutions say it should be, unless we are critical and dare to question the implications of the things we are taught. The normalization tool is designed to make us believe that what we are taught is the right way to do TR, when in actuality, it is simply one out of many ways to do TR. The next tool we would like to use to examine our education is Foucault's power and knowledge paradigm. While the bulk of knowledge presented in the classroom setting is framed as scientific fact, Foucault challenges the authority of a universal scientific truth by suggesting that truth is informed by the meaning we assign to it. In TR, Foucault's power-knowledge paradigm can be applied to the way TR-related institutions utilize power to create knowledge, while that knowledge simultaneously works to enforce the institution's power. For example, TRO hands out information that defines TR as well as the TR competencies employers should look for. The power and status that comes with being an organization make employers more likely to accept the information that TRO distributes as true. This is how power creates knowledge. If an employer accepts TRO's constructed information as true about what it means to be a good TR, then they are more likely to hire TR professionals and teachers that are aligned with TRO. If those who are members of TRO are hired more often than those who are not, then the education and practice of TR becomes highly weighted towards the knowledge that TRO has created, which ultimately reinforces the power of TRO. This is how knowledge creates more power. This power-knowledge paradigm is presented in the papers that are published in academic journals, the topics we discuss in class, and the basic competencies required to become a good TR practitioner. And they are all informed by an academic discourse that privileges certain ways of thinking over others. So why does this matter to you? As a student, you are currently being evaluated on your ability to reproduce the knowledge that is constructed by institutions through examination and other forms of academic discourse. When power-knowledge paradigms go unchecked, the TR profession runs the risk working to meet the needs of institutions instead of the needs of the people we work with. Upon close examination, you will find that there are several normalized aspects of TR that utilizes oppression in order to reinforce the power of the institution. TR professionals must be critical of the knowledge that is presented in order to ensure that professions continue to value the needs of their client.
A reimagined path to TR education. As TR students, we invite you to consider if your education has taken you to the water. In other words, have the things you've learned thus far prepared you to be an effective TR practitioner? In order to ignite future conversation and critical reflection surrounding TR education, we will leave you with some reimagined versions of what our education can be. Currently, the practice of evaluating clients through assessments is normalized and presented as one of the profession's basic competencies. This technique can be problematic because when we attempt to know a client through a checklist, we produce a fragmented version of their identity that is limited to what the expert deems to be important. However, like Play-Doh, these normalized ideas can be reshaped. In my reimagined version of TR education, students will learn to work with clients as fully realized beings, and there will be an emphasis on seeking to understand the client through their own words. In consideration of power-knowledge paradigms, we will also learn to seek balance between the legitimacy of the profession and what O'Reilly, Burberry, and Dupuy refer to as the legitimacy of our engaged practices. This means that instead of relying on best practices or versions of truth that are constructed by science, we will also be equally guided by the client's truth. Finally, I imagine a future where education is delivered in a way that is centered in critical reflection instead of habit. Through reflexive practice, students and professors will collaborate in shaping and reshaping the learning environment in order to find more innovative and compassionate ways to practice and teach TR. As we conclude this discussion, we hope to inspire you to find what your water is and to determine the path you will take to get there. Thank you for keeping your minds open, and good luck on your travels.